Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another skincare series. Basically, I apologize for my messiness, I guess. So I just had an online consultation with a lady from Australia. I've actually had a lot of bookings from Australia lately. Anyway, so I wanted to do this key learnings session with you. And that's thank you very much to my dear friend Meghna, who actually suggested me these sessions. So she said, why don't you, after every consultation, kind of come online and talk about what you learned or what you taught to the client that you've seen, and that will hopefully get you guys more involved and see what you have been doing potentially right or wrong. And just to give you like my idea or like, you know, my outlook on things, hopefully learn from it together. So these were the key learnings, some of the key learnings. Obviously, I'm not going to be telling you everything because that's confidential, but some of the things that I advised her possibly that I could share with you. First thing that she was doing wrong that we discovered, and hopefully you're not doing the same, is that she was using a DIY face oil to cleanse her skin. DIY face oils for cleansing, why it doesn't work. DIY, I do like DIY. I do promote lots of DIYs in my channel as well, on my YouTube channel. I do really like a good DIY, but mainly for masks, because they're not really like the effective treatment as such, but they are kind of like boosters. These are when I was always talking about boosters. So there's no harm in putting yogurt on your skin. Actually, there's a benefit to it. Or there's no harm of putting honey on your skin. Actually, there's a benefit to it. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm relying on the yogurt to do the brightening for me, or I'm relying on the honey itself to do the hydrating for me. I'm using these DIYs as boosters. I know that there's a lot of influencers out there that they swear on DIY, but I know a lot of influencers out there, skincare influencers out there, and say do not do DIY. So I think I'm just in between the middle. How I see things is that I can use them for boosters alongside with my good skincare, and together, hand in hand, I think you can see great benefits with DIY, but not as a cleanser. Why not as a cleanser? Okay, I would like to share this with you. What makes a cleansing oil and actually a successful cleansing oil is the fact that normally when you use a cleansing oil or a cleansing balm, is that your cleansing balm or cleansing oil should 100% turn into a milky emulsion when it comes in contact with water. That's the only way that the cleansing oil will dissolve oil and water together. So oil will dissolve oil and water will dissolve water. That's how it works. So if you are using an oil, just DIY oil, with no emulsifiers in them, then basically what happens is that you are dissolving the oil, but you are not dissolving anything else. It just doesn't emulsify on your skin, wash off both oil and water resistant ingredients that is either in your SPF, in your makeup, generally dirt, grime, pollution that is accumulated on your skin. Oil-based cleansers, it's very good just for cleansing, for nourishing, to make sure that you have that deep, hydrated, cleansing finish afterwards. If you use a DIY face oil as a cleanser, you almost 100% will leave with a greasy layer left on your skin. So why this is bad is, again, as I was telling to the client, if you leave a greasy layer on your skin, then later on when you are going to be applying your actives or your creams or your serums, it's not going to actually go through your pores. It's not going to make any difference. The reason why we always go from lighter to heavier consistencies in skincare is that so whatever you apply is able to really penetrate and also to be absorbed and to actually make a difference. And that's why you essentially invest in skincare, right? To make a difference. So essentially, imagine if you have this oily, greasy layer left from your DIY face oil, cleansing oil, for example, without any surfactant or emulsifier, then you are left with this greasy layer, and then whatever you basically put on top is just going to stay on the surface of the layer, and what you're only doing is just creasing the surface barrier of your skin and making it harder and harder and harder for the ingredients to really penetrate into the skin and make a difference. For that reason, I would definitely recommend using skin cleansing oils and also cleansing balms that has emulsifiers in them, right? You can find different kinds of emulsifiers. You can find a coconut derivative emulsifier. You can actually find food grade emulsifier. You might get a PEG. You can get the hydrogenated castor oil PEG, glyceryl cocoatate, methylene glucose. It comes in different forms, so it's like a PEG PEG40, it's PEG20, PEG7, whatever. There's lots of PEGs out there. And you can also get PEG-free emulsifiers as well now. That's the new trend. So anyway, as long as you have an emulsifier in there that's able to dissolve from oil to water and turn into milky, beautiful solution, that is basically how a cleansing oil should be. Hopefully this was useful. Take care, guys. Bye.